What up everyone, it's your man Xman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends 2024 Spider-Man Retro Wave Tombstone action figure review. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like, rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's go! Hasbro has been killing it with their head sculpts lately, and it continues here with this Tombstone. The way they made this head sculpt, they wanted to make sure that they got all the details out for you to see. The facial features too, look at that jaw structure, a lot of dimples too on there. It's so detailed. You know, he's got those strong eyebrows, the very tiny nose tucked up at the top between, you know, it's real tight right there between his eyes and close to his forehead. Then you get that elongated top mouth, and it just looks so good, man. I like the grin too. You can't really tell how sharp his teeth are, but I'll show you the alternate head when we get to accessories. You can see it a lot better there, but you know, for the most part, looking at it from this distance on camera, you could tell there's some sharp edges, and that's pretty hard to do when you have the teeth close together like this. But wow, just an amazing head sculpt, and I do like how dark his eyes are. This is awesome, just awesome. The top of the hair, nicely sculpted there. There is some slight wash, not so much on the side, but you still get those nice fine details. And you can see he's got the seamless neck, so there's no ball joint or disc hinge. The ball joint is at the bottom, so I like the seamless look there. And I'm so happy they finally made Tombstone in his suit. I think the first time I ever saw him in his suit when I was reading comics as a kid was in Spectacular Spider-Man. And I've been wanting a Marvel Legends Tombstone in that suit. And it's so comic accurate. He has the black suit and the blue shirt underneath. And it is pinstriped too, just like the comics. He's got the black tie, blue handkerchief. I even like this right here. His dress shirt pokes out of the jacket. That is so nice with the pinstripe continuing. I love that attention to detail. And this is an all new sculpt from scratch. So we get introduced to a new muscled suited body, and it just looks wonderful. I love that the jacket piece right here is pinched in to give it that V shape, something they should have done with the rose. Get some buttons right there, nice pinless, just looks smooth. And these are the new slacks. I like the way they did the slacks, and I like the way, you know, he's got some big meaty thighs underneath the slacks, so this looks very good. And I just wish they kind of gave him more of a calf shape too. But other than that, I mean, it still looks good. These are new shoes, and another thing that I picked out, another detail that I like, is if you could see, they sculpted the texture of the socks. So that is really, really nice. I like the new shoes. Very mafioso looking. Yeah, it looks like they're paying a lot more strict attention to detail with the figures released this year compared to last year. And look at that. The bottom of the pants are hemmed. That's nice. And you'll see that pattern through most of this wave specifically, and more reviews to come. I will cover this wave in its entirety, so you'll see the amount of details they poured to the other figures. And the jacket's really nice with the pockets, the buttons, and also this looks like it untabs, but it is glued. I tried messing with it a bit. I had a peek inside because I wish I had an extra so I can strip this guy from his jacket so you guys can see what it looks like underneath. And there's definitely a ball joint underneath that, which looks good. I don't know if it's an upper. It looks like an upper torso swivel, and I want to say it's double diaphragm, but I'm just going to say it's a single ball joint for now. I haven't seen anyone strip this guy down, so, you know, I don't want to confirm anything. So if I do get an extra, then I'll let you guys know. The reason why I think it's a double diaphragm is because he gets so much range in this suit. This is the most range out of all the suited bodies that they put out. Like, he is really articulate. Like, look how he pivots. That's some deep pivoting right there. Whoops, I knocked off his head. And I am so impressed with the mobility on this guy. Man, it's great to see how far they've come with the suits. And just to give you a little quick evolution, I'll just pull out some figures. They might not be the first in that body mold, but just to give you the idea of the progression. The first for sure was Chameleon, and you know, he did have the scrawny legs, and there were improvements that needed to be made from this. Like, he doesn't have the ankle swivel or anything like that. You know, it's a scrawny build. This is good for your, like, not muscular, just regular shaped dudes, and you can, I army build a lot of guys in these suits to make as, like, you know, street thugs or, you know, mafia bosses, things like that. Then we went from this to a more muscular suit, and it was used for the Logan body. You know, they did give it the ankle swivel and a new sculpt on the legs, but this Hugh Jackman Logan movie did have muscular arms for the suit. They were a lot bigger. And then we got the Jon Favreau Happy Hogan, and it was used for Hammerhead, so you could see another kind of muscular body, a stocky build. They still use those Logan movie arms for this one, but the slacks were new. These were like the first pinless slacks they made in the line. And then we got another pinless suited body. I think the first pinless suited legs for this size, not counting this one, for the smaller size characters. I think it was the Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, but I don't think he had the pinless suited arms. This Rose did. Correct me if I'm wrong. And in the midst of all those other suited bodies being released, then we got the BAF-sized suits. So it started off with Kingpin, and then Joe Fixit, which was originally the Gamerverse BAF wave. So it's cool to see that we got that bodyguard muscular suit kind of style, and non-BAF size, he's the biggest one of them all. And Hasbro's still introducing new suited body styles, like the upcoming Wolverine patch figure, and that'll be the shortest one of them all. So I'm really liking the variety that they're doing now with these different suit styles. So I hope you enjoyed that little quick evolution overview. But if I had to rank all the suits, this is number one. Hands down, this is number one. Now for accessories, he comes with this crowbar, and it's being held in his default hands, which is the only hands he could hold it with. This hand right here has a vertical hinge. The other has a traditional hinge. Then he comes with two closed fists, and he has this alternate head, which he looks like he got shot in the dick. Shoot him in the dick. Remember that? What movie was that from? RoboCop, I think. This is a funny expression, but like I was saying before, you can see his razor sharp teeth a lot clearer in this one. I do like the default head more though. It just gives me that vibe of when he calls Robbie Robertson Straight Arrow. I would like a Robbie Robertson figure one day. I'm a fan of this head sculpt. It does look a little it does look a little cheesy, but it works. It doesn't bother me. You still get those fine details on the hair sculpt too. Yeah, the seamless neck works for it, and you know, you just can't pop any head onto this body because, you know, he's not gonna have a neck, so it's just gonna be that. That may be the only downside to this figure, but it's not like you could just pop any character's head on it because the skin tone's different. I say the only thing that would have been an upside if he did have a neck with the disc hinge, maybe you could have popped that old Tombstone head on it if you like that head more than this one. Which, that wasn't a bad Tombstone head at all. Now, to cover articulation, like I said, he has the seamless neck. So, it's not gonna move. He's not gonna have any kind of up movement. Lacks range going up and down. That is the downside. They should have given him a lot more breathing room. Hasbro needs to improve on their ball joints. They're very inconsistent. Like I showed you, the torso is great, but here, not so much. Because even if I want to tilt his head, it just falls back into place, so I can't really get him in a permanent head slant for posing. Yeah, it's just gonna fall back in line, so that's a bummer. You can move it left and right, but you know, they should have given him some breathing room. So his arms move outward that far, so you could get a straight T pose. You can move his arms up and down, and no butterfly joints. That would have been nice on a suit. You get the bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows. As you can see there, it gets good range, wrist swivel, and a wrist hinge. Again, I showed you the ball joint, and it's just so impressive, man. I do like maneuvering this torso. It makes it easy to handle. You know, got the swivel on there as well, if I didn't show you earlier. And you got the legs that move that far apart. He does kick up high, which is nice for a suited body. Yeah, you get that awkward frontward split, so he does kick forward a lot and back. Good mobility around his legs. The thigh swivel, and this is great right here, man. Heel to the tombstone butt. These are big legs, and I'm loving the range that I'm seeing with characters that have big legs, because the Executioner in the X-Men 97 wave, he also had bulky big legs and heel to the butt. You know, it's good range. You got the ankle swivel right there, and his ankles do move somewhat upwards, about that far. They do move down a good amount, so that's good. And you get that all around ankle pivot. Now for some comparisons, here's Tombstone next to some other Spider-Man figures I brought out for you to decide which Spider-Man scales best with this Tombstone. In my opinion, if you're looking for that spectacular Spider-Man to match that, you know, run that this look was based off of, then I would say Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, because this is the closest to that Sal Buscema look that you'll get. I just love the end of that story arc, because when Spider-Man gives 0 Fs, he really gives 0 Fs. I just remember him dropping Tombstone, letting go of his webbing, and he just falls like 50 off a 50-story foot building into a dump truck full of cement head first, man. Just never mess with Spider-Man on a day where he has 0 Fs to give. For more comparisons, gotta have him next to Daredevil and also the Punisher. Here is Tombstone with some other mob bosses: Silvermane, Jigsaw, Hammerhead, Kingpin, The Rose, and Chameleon. And lastly, here he is next to his daughter, Janice Lincoln, aka Lady Beetle. And now to wrap things up, my final rating is a 9.5 out of 10. This has now become my new favorite suited body buck. It's very stylized, yet flashy in a subtle way, if that makes any sense. It definitely wins in the articulation department above all the suits. However, the neck is the weakest in mobility. To let it be known, I am a fan of this seamless neck style for suits or some other civilian style clothing, like what we saw from the recent Talos figure, which is good to capture characters with different skin tones all in one. But I think maybe they would have been better off with a double ball peg at the neck for this one, because it just doesn't work to get that desired range. Other than that, everything else in every aspect of articulation is as perfect as the sculpt. The proportions are right, the pinched looking waist to give him that comic book angular shape is just perfection. Good selection of accessories, but he should have also included a regular C-grip hand to look like he's holding the crowbar naturally. Why give him a trigger hand with no gun? I'm happy I can give him a gun, but make it make sense here, Hasbro. Give me more guns like how G.I. Joe goes all out with theirs. He would have looked more insane with some bigger firepower. He's got fists for punching and an open hand if you want him choke slamming somebody. I think both heads are great with a lot of detailing. Even though the alt head could look a little goofy, I like that it's a different kind of expression than what we normally see whenever they try to get expressive with the head portraits. Overall, he looks like a boss, as he should. A banger of a release and blows the last Tombstone out of the water. Only other Tombstone I need now is a 90s Spider-Man animated series version to own 2 of my favorite versions of the character. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this Tombstone in his mob boss suit? Is this on your action figure bucket list? And would you like to see an animated series version of him too? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another Marvel Legends review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.